Ready to get down to business? Join seasoned entrepreneur, community leader, and Army veteran Scott Shalom Klein, who will take you behind the scenes with those who work in America's small business scene and speak with leaders making an impact, creating jobs, and telling their story in entrepreneurship. So let's get down to business. On AM 560, The Answer, here's your host, Shalom Klein.
And indeed, we're all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurs. Business, we talk all about small business here. Welcome back to the program. We are going to kick off our program today with a visionary in the virtual staffing world who has helped over 2,500 professionals find their place in global organizations. Chris McShanag is the founder and CEO of Virtual Teammate, where he has supported over 600 clients in streamlining their operations and finding true leverage. Chris is on a bold mission to reshape the virtual assistant industry, moving away from simple outsourcing and towards building value creation teams that blend effortlessly into a client's culture. He has a specialized focus on healthcare, including HIPAA certified professionals and registered nurses. And Chris is truly setting fresh standards for what it means to scale a business in 2026. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Hey, Shalom. It's a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You've helped, as I mentioned, over 600 clients grow their businesses by looking virtually for talent. What's the biggest day-to-day friction point that small business owners face that a virtual assistant can solve almost immediately?
I think the best way is kind of explain there's so many of our entrepreneurs and folks, your listeners, $100 resources doing $10 tasks. So it's really about prioritizing what's the highest and best use of your time and then delegating it to our team members. And I really see an inflection point in the industry right now. You're kind of transitioning from service-based workforce models as we've moved over the last 10 years from 5% of our workforce to be remote to well over 50, and really start to leverage technology-enabled platforms, including AI, which we empower our teammates to do to drive productivity, kind of margin expansion and scalable growth. And that's what I think is the best thing for your listeners and entrepreneurs to really focus on.
Amazing. And you focus heavily on the healthcare sector, often using HIPAA certified professionals and registered nurses. Why, Chris, is virtual staffing becoming such a game changer for medical practices specifically?
It's really becoming a game changer because, the reimbursements are lowering, and we're getting a lot of doctor burnouts because they're spending most of their time doing administrative tasks. At the same time, costs are rising. And so what we've found and been able to build with our team and really refining the group is a really strong and capable virtual teammate pool out of the Philippines and Latin America. They're enabled by technology, thereby being able to be about 47% more productive than having staff in-house and at a cost savings of the 60 to 70% range. So that's been a big game changer for a lot of our clients because, I was just talking to a client earlier today and he said, my biggest issue isn't taking care of my patients. It's my patients getting in touch with me to schedule it and fighting with the insurance companies. And that's what we do best.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Many leaders worry that a virtual assistant can't truly get, and I put that in quotation marks, get their company culture. I'm curious to get your response. How does virtual teammates ensure that a new assistant can blend into that team effortlessly rather than just feeling like a disconnected contractor?
That's a great question, Shalom. And so I've been really intentional on that. And so what I do when we go through a matching process is we kind of determine the behavioral hardwired traits, and we leverage cultural index to do that. So we get a really good match from an endorsement standpoint. But on top of that, we're also providing nurturing tools to ensure virtual teammate success and buying into the culture. By doing that, we don't just do job descriptions. We do what's called outcome-based responsibilities, kind of talking to our clients up front and spending some time saying, what are the outcomes you want to drive by adding this team member to your organization? And therefore, what are the capabilities you're looking for and the responsibilities? But on top of that, we're collecting the KPIs that you want to track so you can really make sure that the value is being delivered. Because for me, I really form Virtual Teammate with a focus on how can I enhance the experience of clients leveraging remote team members, but also to enhance the experience of virtual teammates working for our clients. And it's been really a game changer for us and our clients to really spend that time up front, to your point, to really get that match clean, because hence the name Virtual Teammate, team by definition of a group of individuals working towards a common goal. And that's really where we focus and work with our clients on.
And you often talk about building a value creation team, which I love that term, that's here, near, and far. Can you walk us
Correct.
through that philosophy and why geographical diversity is a competitive advantage in 2026?
Yeah, no, I mean, if you think about it, there's huge importance and need to have folks in the office, right? Senior executives in the office interacting, and in the clinic scenario, in the office interacting with patients real time. So that's your here folks. Your near folks, you can leverage remotely. Maybe it's your sales folks or others out building community, you're working with patients, working with people out in the community, and that's your near. But then far, you have the ability, leveraging arbitrage and access to a global network of talent to do that work. And it's so interesting to me when I talk to our clients and to our virtual teammates, particularly on the health insurance side. Quite often they're speaking with colleagues across the street in the Philippines. And so the health insurance industries, they step ahead, and now the clinics and hospitals are catching up, where you can really force multiply your capabilities and productivities by leveraging remote team members that are far. And we ensure that, from a security standpoint, the highest data privacy and technical security, so there's no concern with patient or HIPAA data.
Mm-hmm. And for the entrepreneur who's currently doing it all, and it seems like all entrepreneurs are doing it all, juggling every single task, and they're drowning in all of those administrative functions, what are 3 of the 100 tasks that a virtual teammate can perform that offer the highest return on time?
So on the healthcare side, it's definitely insurance verification, patient scheduling, and billing. I mean, they would be the top 3 that I think really drive the most value for our healthcare clients. On the business side, because we're really doing a lot of work, more so lately in the business side, I think it's on the sales and marketing. So how do you get yourself out there? Awareness, curiosity. But then on the back office administrative side, it's really around customer service, financial bookkeeping and financial analysis, where we've seen our clients have the biggest impact, because essentially they can buy back their time to focus on the highest and best value use of them, and just growing and moving the business forward strategically. And we take care of the heavy lifting of those administrative repetitive tasks that quite often take up a lot of entrepreneurs' time, whether it be invoicing, whether it be following up with clients.
And we talk on Get Down to Business so frequently about scaling. Again, I'm joined by Chris McShanag here, and Chris is the founder and CEO of Virtual Teammate, where he has supported over 600 clients in streamlining their operations and finding true leverage. But speaking of scaling, it often feels like it requires a massive increase in payroll. How can a small business grow its revenue significantly without adding a single traditional full-time staff member?
I think, and what we've done at Virtual Teammate is obviously leveraging kind of technology and AI workflows where it makes sense. But then on top of that, leveraging that human-centric connection to be monitoring those, but also to be interacting with your patients or with your clients in a human touch. Because we can move a lot of things to AI, but you're still going to need that human touch, particularly in the healthcare space. And be given that my team is on average 60 to 70% less expensive than hiring somebody, on site or even remotely here in the US, becomes a game changer. And then we take care of the heavy lifting of finding the right person, matching them with you. And then we provide a client success manager that ensures that you're maximizing the value. So we take all the HR headache off, allowing clients to focus on scaling, and then allowing them to scale up and down. As their business grows, being able to ramp up with Virtual Teammates, and as things slow down, maybe ramp down without the need of human resources, real estate, benefits, all of those other things.
I'm sold. Finally, for the skeptic who is perhaps not sold, who has tried outsourcing before and has had a bad experience, what would you say to them to encourage them to take the leap and try this value creation model?
Take some time to think about how many of your tasks today aren't intentionally driving the business forward. And think about the repetitive nature. And if you just spend a little bit of time kind of documenting maybe the SOP of the process, delegating that to somebody that their pure focus is on doing those tasks. Because for our teammates, that's their one priority, right? Is taking care of you. And mine's not a BPO model where they have multiple clients. It's a one-to-one relationship. Hence, I want them to start feeling like part of your team and part of your culture. And so for me, it's thinking about those things that keep you awake at night that really don't drive value in your business. And I look about value creation, there's material value creation, which is hugely important. We need to make money and payroll and things. But then there's emotional value creation, which is about building the right culture and team around you. And that's kind of identifying that. And then there's spiritual value creation, which is about how do you do more for a community and a higher purpose. And for me, I'm really passionate about providing clients to be able to buy back their time, at the same time providing our virtual teammates an opportunity to earn a living wage and work with amazing clients like your podcast listeners.
Amazing. Well, I want to give you the final word. How can we get in touch if we want to learn more?
Well, I'd love to meet some of your listeners. And so you can go to virtualteammate.com. In the top right hand, you can just book a strategy call, get to meet me or any of the team members, or even match me on LinkedIn. I'm always excited to meet new entrepreneurs and get connected through LinkedIn and see where we can partner and work together.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chris McShanag. Don't touch that dial, friends, because we're going to continue lots more small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I'm going to get down to business in just a moment.